counting down again?
Hey everybody, welcome to Driving with John. I have a special guest, King's Transport, formerly seen on Fate Trucking, if you were around for that live. Um, so I'm gonna just do a couple sound checks quick, and then we'll get into this. Let me make sure that everything's working here.
Sounds good. Can you hear
So,
me all
so
right?
how you doing, man? Tell us a little bit about yourself while I'm doing this, so that.
Yeah, sure. I'm doing pretty good. I'm actually
All right.
in a nondescript location in Georgia.
I'm in a
It's
nondescript location somewhere. I don't even know where I am anymore.
it's all good. No, but I'm on the east side of town, basically in Atlanta, I guess, right on the outskirts of Atlanta.
All
Um,
right.
I'm doing pretty good. A little bit tired, but I mean, hey, sometimes you got to do what you got to do, man. Other
Hey, Seven Seas Transport's in the house. Hey, Seven Seas, how you doing, man? You want to come in? You're welcome to join if you want to. We're just gonna be chit-chatting about the lack
Sure.
of loads lately. As a company driver, I've experienced it lately, and oops, this is on this
Yeah,
guy over here. He's a owner op, and he's actually experiencing it too. So yeah,
it's
so
kind of backwards, actually.
I figured we'd be chit-chatting about it. So I'm happy to see you in here, Seven Seas.
Hmm.
But yeah, before we get started on that, I wanted to remind everybody, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, all the good details. Also, if you haven't
Yeah.
seen my trucker stories, it's a new thing that I'm doing on my YouTube channel and also on the Facebook too. But uh, just go check out my trucker stories. I'm basically telling other guys' stories, and I'm currently, as long as I can afford to do so, I will pay you $20 if I use your story on my channel. So email me your stories as soon as you can, and we'll see
That's
what we
cool.
can do about getting those out there for you. Yeah. Well, I started making a little bit of money on YouTube, not a lot, just a little bit. And rather than me pocket it, I decided to make my YouTube a little bit better by, and they have to be verifiably true stories. Um, so that's enough selfless, or selfish plugs for me for one day. So, do you have a YouTube channel? No, you don't have a YouTube channel.
I don't have a YouTube channel yet. No, you can pick on me for that one for sure.
Okay.
I am planning on making one. Um,
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's going to go with the same theme, which is King's Transport right now. And yeah, I got some plans for it. I guess I'm not into the shorts thing, so I think I'm going to start probably doing like a long form videos. I have a couple of videos already on my phone that I've just taken of random kind of DIY things around the truck. I had a nail that was like, yeah, pretty much 5-6 inches long. It was ridiculous, actually. I would say that it was the thickness of my pinky, and this thing went through one of my super singles on the side. um and luckily it went in on one of the nubbier parts, if you will, and I literally had to like just manhandle this thing out of there to even get it out eventually, and I couldn't. So what I did is I went and I got a ratchet with the 13 millimeter, and I actually knocked the 13 millimeter in on top of the head and just started cranking it out because it was that hard and that deep into the actual tire. Finally got it out, and honestly, I just plugged it. I plugged it up, and it's held. It's been holding for the last, I want to say, 3 weeks, probably, if not better. Um, I didn't feel the need to go into like a Love's or a TA or something like that, and actually get them to put a patch on it. I mean, for what? I don't know. It's I've done so many of these plugs, I think, over the years on even regular tires. They've held up just fine. So hopefully I'm not
Yeah.
going to regret it, but I think for the most part it's fine. Yeah, so that's kind of the future of it. I'm learning a little bit of DaVinci Resolve right now, if you guys know what that is. Um, trying to get a little bit more up on speed with some of this software, if you will, to do editing on the videos. Um, and do some of that basically before I actually go kind of just full blown into it, or as much as I can. So
Well, I will tell you, and this is my personality. So if anybody doesn't know this about me, I'm gung ho. Like I'm gonna do it, and I'll learn as I do it. So that's my
Yeah.
philosophy on life. And also, I threw a link in the chat, guys. If anybody wants to join in, they're welcome to join in.
Mhm.
On YouTube, I think I threw the link up there. I don't think I threw it up on Facebook. So if you want to join in, you have to go over to YouTube to tap the link, the StreamYard link, if you want to join in. So, so yeah. Actually, I was talking to
Mhm.
King's Transport last night, and we were. That's kind of what kind of spurred me on to have this talk because I'm a company driver. I used to be a owner operator, and freight fluctuations don't really affect as much my company driving as it did my being an owner operator. Well, all of a sudden now there's no loads. Like I'm literally sitting until Monday at this point, and I delivered at 3 in the morning. So um, I'm doing a Porsche 34 at this point because the next load they have for me is Monday morning. And I was talking to them earlier today about it, and they're like, yeah, there are no loads. That's the problem. For like a week and a half now, we've had issues keeping everybody moving because there are no loads. And then you told me you were having a similar issue, and I'm like, it's no longer a
Yeah.
company or owner operator problem. It's a trucking problem. So, yeah, so I
Yeah.
just was curious if anybody has any comments or anything
Hmm.
they want to say, throw it in the comment section. I'll highlight your comments. So, you want to add
No.
anything to that?
Yeah. No. No. I agree with you. So the type of freight that I haul typically is LTL. Now it may be that I'll take what's technically considered a full truck load, and kind of add on a partial to it, or maybe even two partials. It just depends what's going to fit in the box. And it's a dry box, so it's a 2023 utility that I'm hauling right now, well, pulling, if you will. But yeah, so I was talking to my dispatcher, and I have my own company, King's Transport, obviously. And one of the biggest things is I can load myself still, so I can look on DAT, I can look on 123 load board, and still pick my own loads. So if I find something, he's like, "Yeah, man, go ahead, jump on it, go and get it. Just let me know so we can coordinate between me and him." So we have a really good relationship as far as my dispatcher. He's a great guy. He was a truck driver himself for, I believe, the better part of 12 years. Which, to be very honest with everyone, I think that makes the biggest absolute difference in the world when it comes to having a dispatcher that understands that, okay, this man needs to make money for his family and for his business. Eventually, you have to be profitable. But I was speaking with him last week, and he was telling me, he's like, man, he's like, the volumes are just dwindling. And mind you, he's been dispatching for quite some time now also, and he has his own connections. He has his own brokers, or brokerages. I want to say brokerages because honestly, anytime you call a brokerage, you're actually not speaking to a broker. You're speaking to an actual dispatcher for the brokerage. That's all it is. Because if you
Yeah,
actually speak to a broker, I highly doubt that those people, the actual brokers, will have time to talk to you. Maybe some of them do, if it is a smaller broker, if you will, but not big brokerages at all.
yeah,
So
yeah,
so he's got his own guys that he reaches out to, and I'm telling you, sometimes he just reaches out by email, and it just depends. One week is hotter, one week is a little bit colder. It is what it is, and honestly, it depends on the area too. Um, what states do you guys live in? Seven Seas, I was
yeah.
asking.
Yeah, I was just about ready to
I'll
say,
let you
I
answer
got to
that.
get
Yeah,
to a
go
couple
ahead.
of these comments. Seven Seas Transport. I don't tell anybody exactly where I live, but I do live in the state of Florida. I'm willing to share the state at least of where I live, and
Yeah.
I do. I've lived in like a bunch of different places: Texas, Pennsylvania. I've lived all over the place, Colorado. Like
Mm-hmm.
I have literally lived all over our country, but currently reside in Florida. So, you want to answer that too?
I'm in Florida too. I'm on the
All
west
right,
side of
there
Florida,
you go.
so I'm on
Yeah.
the west
The
coast,
strange part is
Gulf Coast.
I've never actually met him. That side, sorry, I keep forgetting what side you're on. I've never actually met him personally. We actually met on a live a couple of weeks ago, and we've talked a few times since. It's been It's
That
been
was an
kind of
interesting
cool
day.
actually. So I have another comment here. Debbie wants to know how my wife's doing. All right, I'll give a little tiny bit of a backstory with that. My wife has sarcoidosis. A couple years ago, it was really severe. She was
Mm,
basically put in bed and wasn't able to do really anything. And then she over the last couple of years, she's finally started to pull out and she's getting a lot better now. There are some other health issues that I'm not willing to discuss on YouTube, but yeah, your prayers for her would always be appreciated, and I appreciate you asking. She's not super comfortable with the YouTube life, so I don't usually get her on here very often, but eventually, I'm hoping to get her back on here so that you guys can hear from her. But the sarcoidosis seems to be doing better, and she's getting around a lot better now. And I'm able to run longer periods of time because of that. So, um, long story
mm,
short, that's how she's doing. So, sarcoidosis, most people have never heard of it. I never heard of it before she got diagnosed with it. So, it's you'd have to Google it. It's kind of a strange thing. It's not a immune disorder, but it's similar to one, and it emulates like five other diseases, so it's hard to diagnose. So
yeah,
yeah,
that sounds really
yeah,
hard to diagnose, actually.
yeah, it
Huh.
is, it is. So,
Okay.
but yeah, I appreciate you coming in, Debbie, and Seven Seas Transport. Where are you out of, Seven Seas? If I remember, you're up in the west, northwest somewhere. If I remember correctly, I think I've seen comments from you before in other lives. Um, So anybody that wants to ask any questions, I'm pretty much an open book. I will definitely comment back. All right, here let's go. Oh, there's Bait Trucking. Bait Trucking says volume seems to be just fine where where I love. Well, where you love. Okay, all right, I love. However, I don't run a lot of spot rate. No, I mean I don't run spot rate at all. I mean everything we do is contract rate. I know you meant live. It's okay. But you're welcome to come in too if you want to. It's open to everybody. But yeah, I don't. We actually have contracts with some of the biggest, what's I think it's called LTL freight companies in the country. Like we have contracts with all the big guys, and they don't even have the freight for us. That's when that happens, like when Yellow went out, we got crazy busy, and now it just died all of a sudden. All right, let me get to some other comments here real quick. Seven Seas says, was just asking to see if y'all have local owner op work, such as fuel hauling or hopper work. And then he's saying hi to F8 or Bait Trucking. He says, I'm in North Carolina. Oh, you're in North Carolina? Oh, heck. You know what, Seven Seas? Why don't you email me or something? Because I need to ask a favor of somebody in North Carolina. I can't publicize why, but you might be able to help me out.
Oh, I know this story. Okay.
Yeah,
We talked
yeah.
about it,
So
actually.
yeah, I'm not saying why I'm asking that, but hey, if you're willing to help a driver out, send me an email or a message or something. And if you have anybody that knows you on YouTube that has my number that you're willing to share it, that's fine if they give me my number. So there's F8 saying what's up to Seven Seas.
Yeah,
Says we have 10
13.
thumbs up and we have 20 people on here. So come on, guys, put that on there. And I don't know how many people are on YouTube right now or on Facebook right now. Um, Let me see. If you see me looking down, guys, I'm not ignoring the camera. It's just I have both running at one time. I have my the Facebook and the YouTube so that I can kind of track it, see what's going on both. Why is that not coming up? There it goes. All right, there it is. All right. So yeah, so we're talking about the freight levels. All right, Debbie says prayers to your wife and you. I know how your life is out there on the road. I'm in Arkansas and a widow of a trucker. He drove for ABF. Oh, wow, okay. Wow, a widow of a trucker. Huh. So I feel like there's a
Hmm.
story there. I'm sorry for your loss, and yeah, my wife and I have a long running thing, and it I call it a joke, but it's really not a joke. The toughest people in trucking are the trucker's wife, and I honestly believe that because they have to deal with all of our crap and all the crap of us being a trucker, and so kudos to you for being a trucker's wife because you're a one tough person, I guarantee you. Um, Seven Seas Transport says my email address. It's drivingwithjohntoday@gmail.com. Drivingwithjohntoday@gmail.com. If you don't want to, write it down or you can't write it down right now, on the bottom of any of my long form videos, if you click on the description, it's in every single one of them. So, um, but yeah, definitely give me an email because I need a hookup in North Carolina.
Actually, we'll see, man. I might be able to help you out with that. It's just just got to make a little bit
Yeah.
of time, but
Okay.
we'll figure we'll
Um,
figure out. We'll see what Seven Seas does or whatnot. We'll go from there.
yeah. Yeah. And then Debbie says thanks. No problem. She said he tried owner op too expensive. Yeah, it's what owner ops. I've done it, so I can speak a little bit about it. This guy over here, obviously can speak more about it, but from my experience, it's higher risk, but it's higher reward. So
Yeah.
sometimes the reward isn't always going to be as much as you would hope for, and sometimes it's going to be more than you hope for. And you got Bait Trucking. He's in here in the comment section.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, he'll tell you. Oh, I have a guest in there too. It's probably maybe it's F8. Oh, it is. All right, let's bring him in since I was just talking about him
All
on the
right.
stage.
Internet
Are you
sucked.
are you in there, man?
He said the internet sucks, but yeah, no, and actually, yeah, it's the market is
Oh, I think he
basically.
dropped out.
He'll come back on.
Yeah, I think he dropped out.
He'll come back on. I don't know if he's at home or not, but
Yeah. Hey, Bait, go
yeah.
ahead and jump back in here. I'll bring you in. Yeah, it's weird because he's always talking about how great it is, and he has a lot of contract rate, and I get that. But the company I work
Mm,
for is all contract rate. We run no spot market stuff, and so for us to be low on loads, to me, it's a red flag for the whole entire market because we have our
mm-hmm,
hands in everything. So I mean everything, no joke, like all across the
mm-hmm,
board. So and then you were telling me that you were having the same issues. So in my opinion, that means trucking's in trouble. I mean, if owner ops, company guys, if all of us are having trouble getting loads, now, you know,
mm-hmm.
Fate Trucking is going to come on here in a minute, and he's going to tell us how great it is in Minnesota, and that's great. He's doing good
Well,
there. But
the Midwest, man, it's honestly, I think the Midwest is the place to be. Especially if you have a reefer. I mean, like DIY and even Fate. They're the reefer game out of there is really good, is what I'm hearing. And they're seeing it. I mean, they've got good rates coming out of there.
yeah,
And it's I mean it's a part of the country that's productive in that type of you know frozen freight or protect from freeze, if you will. That's what the reefer side is going to be doing right now in the winter months. A lot more is protecting stuff from freezing. So
yeah.
I think the demand for the reefer is going to go higher in the next couple of months, just because it's already getting cold outside.
Yeah.
So
Seven Seas, let me get to him real quick. He said he lives right
yeah.
off of 95. What city are you looking for the favor? He said favor and needed, but he means favor. Um,
You're right.
Basically, I'm not going to share anything else online, or what I need or anything because it's not something I'm willing to put out on the tube. So definitely email me. I'll send you my phone number. If you can't help me, it's fine. I saw you were in North Carolina, and it's something that's fresh in my mind because I'm working on it right now, and I'm like, huh. I wonder if a couple of my brothers could help me out there, and King's Transport said he might even be able to. So where's your name, Kings?
Alex.
No,
A L
I
E
mean
X.
on here it doesn't say. Why doesn't it say King's Transport on here? Let me
Mm,
there it is. Okay, never mind.
okay.
It's
You
weird.
had to
It's weird
hang
when the
it back.
comments are up there. Yeah, when the comments are up there, our names are gone. I didn't realize that. I'm kind of a rookie at this StreamYard YouTube stuff. So, as you can
But
see in the bottom down there, guys, if you want to support my channel, it'd be greatly appreciated. You can become a member. You can send super chats. You can send cash apps. All of that goes to directly to my YouTube and my family, and we actually divvy that up and help some other people that are in need. So that's all I'm going to say about it. I'm not going to promote it. This is more about trucking than it is about that right now. So,
mm,
um, but yeah,
yeah.
so that's what brought on this conversation because when that happened today, or yesterday, and my well, I'll call him driver manager, same thing as a dispatcher.
Hmm.
Um, when they told he all week he's been saying that the loads are getting low, but they've kept me moving until now. So you know, to me that makes me worried because I have a buddy in UPS and they're really slow right now, and I have a buddy that another buddy that
Hmm.
works in another larger company and they're really slow right now. Now, granted, we're around the corner from busy season. I mean, um, you know,
Right.
especially for like a UPS, but right now, if the bigger companies like that are slow, and the company I work for is not small potatoes and they're pretty slow, so yeah, it makes me wonder how bad trucking is going out there. It says I got 15 people watching right now.
Mm,
Guys, I appreciate it. Can you hit the thumbs up and make sure you leave me a comment, guys. Let me know how it's going for you. Debbie says, "You guys be safe out there. I'm headed out." All right, Debbie. I appreciate you stopping in, and you know, if you ever want to share your husband's story, you know, I'd be willing to share it. And but if you don't want to, that's understandable too. I appreciate you checking in with us and coming on here. And I'll see
mm.
if I can drag my wife onto one of these sooner or later, because honestly, she's better looking than me, so usually it gets better more views than this ugly mug does. So
I, th-
I brought this guy on, but I don't know if that's going to help either. So
I think the wives are always looking better than us at this point. We're the ones that got lucky. So you know.
yeah, oh yeah, dude, I married way over my head. I know I did. I tell her that all the time.
Hmm.
So
I got you. Well,
there's Debbie saying will do.
I think we'll be. Well, I think we're blessed. I'll put it that way. I think we're blessed with the
Oh,
wives that we have. So.
dude, I am very blessed. I'm not. I don't even try to candy coat it or lie about it or no. I know I'm blessed. I know I don't deserve the wife I have because she is awesome. She is way better than I am. But again, she's the strength between the two of us. She's the stronger one out of us. So um,
Yeah. No.
let me
Definitely.
see here what I got here.
Yeah. I
So you
gotta
running
boogie
you
down.
running
Yeah.
tonight?
Oh yeah. I'm gonna be boogieing down to back to Florida. I'm in Georgia
Okay.
right now, so it'll take me probably like 9 hours or something like that to get back to the house, and then deliver probably Monday morning. So
Okay.
at least that's
All
what
right.
my schedule's going to be looking like. But yeah, no, the I think it's interesting what's happening with the market, the volumes, like the way they are. I mean, they're dwindling, but honestly, I cannot myself. I can't really pinpoint. Oh, it's this or oh, it's that. That's doing harm to the market, if you will, in a sense. Um, I think and there's so many different aspects. There's heavy haul. There's obviously dry box. There's reefer. There's step deck.
Yeah. Well, that's
There's
another thing
cattle
about
hauling. Like all very different types of. It's same industry, but just different types of things that
niches.
people are. Yeah, yeah, niches, I guess, or niches.
Yeah.
Is it niches or niche? I think it's a niche.
Whatever.
I don't know. Anyway,
Whatever.
but
We're
it's
truckers.
a
We don't
different
have to get
niche.
it right.
Yeah, there you go. We're not too good on that vocabulary, but but yeah. So I think it's these different niches. It pays different in every side of it, and it just depends on the
yeah.
demand side. How much demand is it, and how much supply is there. But I mean, ultimately, we're the ones getting screwed because we're the ones like taking the biggest risk. Like last night, I was driving. Where was I on I-24? Coming southbound, or 57 to 24, two
Give me 1 second,
trucks.
F. I'll bring you in a second. All right.
No, it's all good. I
Yeah.
mean, we can bring them in.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, that's part of the thing I was just about ready to say before I bring him in here, because I know when I bring him in, he's going to bring another aspect into this. But we
Uh-huh.
both do drive-in, and I've done reefer and I've done flatbed,
Yep.
so I'm familiar with those markets. And the thing about Pate Trucking is
Hmm.
he is totally, he's a reefer guy, so he's going to have a reefer perspective.
Hey,
Um,
the man, the myth,
there
the
he is.
legend.
What up?
How you doing?
So he's like,
What up?
it's all
How you
good.
doing,
Sorry,
man?
my internet might go bad. I'm up north fishing right now.
Oh, okay. You're
Yeah, I
fishing.
saw that.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I
That's
just want to stop.
a little early for ice fishing.
Yeah, so this is the last time we're on open water.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's pretty cold out.
So what's the trophy? Like, what are you going after?
Perch,
Oh,
jumbo
okay.
perch. Hey, let me go shut this other door real quick.
No problem.
Okay.
No problem. I have a comment here. Christy says, "Me and my guy are in school now, and in
It's
it's
disheartening.
disheartening that thanks I can't read that it's slow,
Okay.
kind of scary for us. Well, it's I'll tell you what, Christy, it's true for no matter what in trucking. You're going to have ebbs and flows. It's this month or this week could be bad, and next week could be the best week you've ever seen. That's the thing about trucking.
God, this ain't gonna freaking work, and I'm not even drinking right now.
Oh God, no. We
Oh my gosh.
just put
There.
it against like the
We'll go
wall
there.
or something else. There you go.
Yeah. But
But
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
in trucking it goes up and down, it goes up and down. Now you do reefer freight, freight trucking, so you probably wouldn't experience the same things that we do in dry van, because I know reefer is, it's a totally different market. It's a different niche. So
now, just to say real quick, I most of my experience is with reefer also. So the driving thing to me is new, but it's just it was getting expensive with like the reefer, the fuel, and just the loads weren't paying at that point in time. And they're still not paying. So it's regardless. I mean, I think everybody's like barely surviving a little bit here and there. We get little bursts of better rates here and there, and it just depends on your experience. It depends what company you're with, this and that and the other. So
yeah, yeah, that's the
um
other thing I would say to Christy and her guy, as she my guy, she said.
mhm.
So it also depends on what company you're with. Like, you're going to come out of school, you're probably going to go directly to a company, and it depends on that company. Like, what how busy you're going to be, and it probably won't affect you as much. Like me as a company driver, it's not affecting me as much as it is probably the owner operators, because the company I work for is big enough, and we have enough contracts with enough companies where, yeah, I'm slow this weekend, but in the next month or two, it's going to get absolutely crazy because the holiday season's coming. So,
Mhm.
um, but
Yeah, yeah, hopefully.
per reaper rate, like, is this traditionally a good time of year or slow time of year? Is he frozen? I think he's frozen.
uh, he's moving, gesturing.
Can you hear? Can you hear me, Pate?
Now he's frozen again.
Oh, I can't hear you, man. Hey, Scott, I can't hear you, man.
Mm-mm.
All right,
Scotty.
Seven Seas Transport. Let me get this in there real quick while Scott's figuring out his technical difficulties there. Um, no problem. My email is driving with John today at gmail.com. Driving with John today at gmail.com. Like I said, you can go to any of my long form videos and hit description, and it will be in the description of pretty much every video, unless I forgot to put it in there, but I don't think I have. So,
S- uh,
um,
you know what? I was gonna actually add something to the thing. So since I had a lot more experience with the reefer, I would say one of the biggest challenges was basically, well, so I have my own company, right? And just calling to these brokers, and you call them up, um, but and I get it. I forgot what the terminology is. There's a certain thing. It's like when contract rates are either higher or lower or something like that. Oh, the rejection rate. That's it. It's the rejection rate. But I forgot what the fluctuation is. It's like if it fluxes up or if it fluxes down, you have a better opportunity to get a better rate for that, for that reefer freight that's coming out of whatever area. It could be like the Texas market. It could be, I don't know, Washington State. It could be the California market, for example. Um, and they just wouldn't budge on the prices, man. Like you try to negotiate with them, and it's like, no, fine, I'll find somebody else, and damn it, sometimes they would. I mean, they're gonna find that one person that's just gonna haul cheap reefer freight. Hey, Fake,
Yeah.
I see you're back, but yeah, I was just saying, like, I got more experience with reefer also rather than the dry box. Can you hear us?
Quite a bit of experience with Reaper too. But what's up, Bait? Are
Can
you
you hear me?
back? I don't think he can
Yeah,
hear us.
I can hear you.
Uh, oh, okay.
I'm letting everything process because I
That's all right.
agree. I can hear you. I can hear you. Can you
Okay.
not hear me?
Yeah, I can. It's kind of lagging a little bit, but I can hear you.
It's good now.
I'll just go in the comments.
No, it's fine. Hey,
Yeah, but
I wanted to say to you, this guy over here, King's Transport, I met him on your last live, and we've talked quite a few times. He's actually a really good guy, man.
That's
cool.
good to be good, I guess.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Thanks, man. I appreciate
Yeah.
it.
See,
Oh, that's
so that
cool.
that chaotic live did bring did bring people, to be able to talk. So
I don't know if you went back and watched it, but it
Oh,
was
was
all
pretty
right,
that my
good.
seven.
last live show? Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that one.
Yeah, all
Yeah. I'm
good.
surprised you remember it, but
Oh
Seven C's. I
goodness,
just got your
it
email.
happens, man.
I will.
Can
I'll
I
respond after the live. So go ahead.
can I say a couple of things real quick before my internet gets too bad?
Go for it, man.
Okay. Cheap freight doesn't exist. Cheap freight is whatever you are not willing to haul something for. Just because you're not willing to haul it and somebody can haul it for cheaper than you doesn't make it cheap freight. That person is
Yeah.
generating something. Now it might not be to your standards. That's all understandable. It might not be to your standards, but this
Right.
idea of cheap freight is is kind of like it's all self. It's what you are willing to do or what aren't willing to do. We say it as a broad term that I think scares a lot of people because it's not a broad term. It's
Hmm.
I actually thrive on hauling freight that I think a lot of people would pass up on. And it's ridiculous some of the stuff I hear them say. If you're getting $3 a mile or $2.75 a mile, even $2.30 a mile, there is a lot of money to be made at that rate. A lot of money.
It
You just
depends
have
on
to
what
be
it. Mhm. No, I was just gonna say it depends on what your expenses are, right? Like how much you're, and everybody talks about it, but I'm just throwing this in there really quick. You're basically, what's your cost per mile? And if your cost per mile is whatever, 55 cents a mile or 65 or 75, something like that, then the difference is technically, I guess, where your profit is at to a degree, I believe. Did you hear me? Or
but that,
Yeah,
but
he's
that's
lagging. Just
business.
give him a minute.
hmm
I can hear you.
hmm hmm
That's business. That's not cheap freight. That's business. Are you
Yeah,
are you able to bring your business costs down versus your competition?
Right.
That's not cheap. That has nothing to do with the freight. Your fixed costs have
hmm
nothing to do with the freight. That's your business. The
right.
freight shouldn't.
We weren't actually really talking about cheap rate. I mean, honestly, we were just talking about the lack of rate. And like I said, you might not be experiencing it in Reaper so much, um, but in
hmm
dry van, like over the last week or so,
Hey
I've
John,
been
I'm gonna go,
steadily
man. I'm
hearing.
sorry.
No problem. Hey, leave me comments, man. I'll read your comments. Speaking of which, I got a bunch I need to get to, so let me get to these comments real quick. But hey, thanks for coming on, man. I appreciate it. Pump up your channel. Say your channel name. Oh, he's gone. F8 Trucking, guys, check him out. Oh, I'm sorry, Freight Trucking, check him out. Um, it's a good vlogging channel, and he does a bunch of other videos. Very knowledgeable about business. Just check him out. All right. So Chris says, "Hey guys, love your TikToks, John." Well, I don't do TikToks, so not that I'm not on there. I just don't do them. I think I did 3 or 4. Most of my stuff's on YouTube and Facebook. I'm not a big TikTok fan. We're thinking of coming to transport as they're willing to train us together on the same truck. We graduate November 1st. Well, hey, welcome to the industry. Get ready for a wild ride with ups and downs and a lot of fun along the way. Just here's my advice for a new driver. All the driving advice and everything I could tell you. I could just my only advice really is enjoy the ride. Like literally take your job seriously, be a professional, but also enjoy the ride, man. It's trucking is such a unique and awesome industry that people don't even realize how you can let it bother you or you can have some fun with it. And I like to have some fun. So yeah, I got your
Hmm.
email, 7Cs. I'll get back to you. Chris says we're a little worried about it. The slow and snow as we're out of Florida, hoping to kick off our careers on the right foot. Yeah, well, I'll tell you what. You know what? If you want to be a truck driver driving in the snow, as much as I hate doing it, and when I was an owner operator, I honestly avoided it as much as I could. But it's kind of the way it goes. So
It's
it is what it
inevitable.
is.
It's
Yeah, it
inevitable.
is
It's
what
like
it is.
you're gonna have to throw those chains down if you're going into these areas where you're gonna get snow, whether it
Yeah,
be Wyoming, which I God, that's ridiculous out there, especially in the wintertime. But even the Midwest or like Seattle, for example, coming over the mountains and stuff, um, it's just nuts. Sometimes you're gonna have to throw those chains on, no matter what. Some of my
yeah,
family members, I mean, kudos to them. They've been trucking a lot longer than I have, and these guys, they're like throwing the chains on a heck of a lot more than I am, or that I have in the last couple of years.
yeah. I have a comment here. Hang on. Fate Trucking. I see you in the room. I'll bring you in 1 second. Let me read this comment quick. Dylan from Facebook says, "Glad I'm a company driver for a small company. I get paid percentage instead of mileage, and they haul exclusively for a company that makes machinery. I'm guessing a flatbed if they make machinery or step deck, something like that. One of the main runs I do is about 400 miles, and I make 400 to 500 um,
Just to
just to
go up
go
there,
up there and back. Yeah,
and
that's
another
3 to
coming
400
back.
coming
Yeah.
back. Yeah, and then Dylan says, "Oh
How
man,
over how many miles though? 400 miles. Okay.
yeah, it said
Uh,
over 400 miles." So
and a company driver.
yeah, as
Wow,
a company driver, that means he has no expenses. That's not bad.
that's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Dylan says I do it Monday through Friday, sometimes on Saturday. Yeah, I mean that sounds like a sweet deal, man. And
Keep
that's the
it.
thing. That's the thing. When you get rolling, and you get with a company that you like, if you want to be a company driver, then stick
Hmm.
with that company. Eventually, my truck's about to kick onto me.
So you got that smart idle, I think, or what
Yeah,
is
I
it?
just turned it off. Yeah, they probably don't like the idea that I just turned it off as it was trying to start, but.
It'll
All
be
right,
all
so
right.
7C says, you guys running up and down 95 tomorrow. I'll be smoking a brisket. Oh my goodness, I might just drive. I might just drive to North Carolina right now. I love brisket, dude. Brisket is
Oh,
like,
it's pretty
I
good.
love some
Hey,
brisket, man.
we were talking about that barbecue place the other day too.
Oh yeah, yeah. Did
Hmm.
you find it?
No, not yet. I haven't
Oh,
looked
okay.
at it. I had to go to sleep. I got to my location at like what 7 in the morning, over here where I'm at, and just knocked out. I was tired.
Dylan says he's gone. Yeah, he's
Who's
probably
that?
talking
Oh,
about.
Fate. Fate.
Yeah,
Fate.
probably.
Hmm.
Cowboy SJ. I call him my. Oh, where did his comment go? There it is. Um, it says I'm a moderator, I guess. Yeah, I when I have a chance, I usually make people that come back more than once moderators. And Cowboy, you are my number one subscriber. So I
Is
don't
he?
want to make all the other subscribers jealous, but this dude's been around since the beginning of time. He's supportive. He watches every single video. He comments on every single video. He thumbs up every single video. Dude, I can't he's my number one subscriber. So I've actually made shorts off of requests that he's made. No joke. Like he's one of those guys that he's very loyal, and I love that. So Dylan says hi. Says please
Good. You
make
guys
me a
are hard to come by.
moderator. Dylan, do I know you, Dylan?
It's
Please
not even Dylan. It's
come
Dion.
on. Oh, Dion,
Diane
sorry.
or Diane? Yeah.
Sorry, I am speech impaired. Boy, he is spamming me right now. Please, please. Okay, I'm out. Okay, well, I didn't even get to your comments before you left, so no chance you're going to be a moderator if that's the way it is.
Yeah.
um,
We'll see if they come back.
this one is Dylan. It says, I'm very fortunate for it. Not trying to brag. Not trying to brag at all. I know I'm lucky. There are still good companies out there. Just hard to find one. No, that's very true. It's very true. I got so many comments to catch up on here real quick. Tell you what, let me bring in Bait Trucking. He's been patiently waiting. And while he's coming in, I'm going to keep reading his comments real quick. Cowboy says, I'm
Ah, there he
here.
is. He's
Cowboy
enjoying the cold one.
says, come back more than once. Um, yeah, he was telling the other guy to come back more than once. Cowboy says, trucking with SJ is coming through. Stop stealing my tagline, man. Cowboy says, the Tigers got him. Yeah, probably. And then Bruce is on here. He says, can you make me a moderator? LOL. Yes, Bruce, I know you. I will make you a moderator. Just
Hold
give me
on,
a
hold
minute.
on, hold on. So speaking of
So,
moderators, hey Fate, did you ever get your wrench back from Cash?
I have no idea. I don't watch that asshole.
oh,
Oh, shots fired. Oh man, it's all good. You're gonna hear about it on the next live show.
wait, why didn't I see that video? Wait,
I
why
don't
didn't I
play.
see
I
that
don't play
comment? Did
with
I skip
small
over it?
channels.
Oh, here's another
Oh,
comment. Somehow I skipped over it. I don't play with small channels.
You got that?
I don't know about small
So
channels, man. Oh, that's too funny.
Hex says, I love your videos, brother. Keep up the good work. Thank you. I hope you're talking about my story videos because I love making them. Um, and Bruce, just give me a couple of minutes to get on YouTube, and I will make you a moderator. As long as you promise to leave everybody's comments, as long as they aren't talking bad about you personally. So, did you get better internet? Is that why you're back?
I doubt I do. I doubt I have good internet. But I just want to say, like, I wasn't saying that your live was about cheap freight. I was just saying, I think maybe it's because I've been doing this for so long. I mean, over 25 years of my life. Like, trucking's no different than anything else. Like, there's always ups and downs, just like in the construction world. I mean, trucking has its ups and downs. Whether you're a company driver or an owner operator, there's no there's no goal. If you're an owner operator, that doesn't make you a better truck driver than a company guy. You know what I mean? Like, you're not better than anybody. It's just
Well, except for you.
the reason I like to be an owner. Well, yeah, except for me. Good call. Good call. Good call. Do you want to
No,
know
he is good.
why? Do
He's
you
got
want
a
to
lot
know
of
why
experience.
Oh, that was a perfect time for
I've
the
worked
internet to go
for?
out.
Oh, did it go
So
out?
yeah, so
Yeah.
do this, do this. If you can hear me, just stay in one place and do not move the phone. Like right here, it's good. Don't move it. Don't go any
Okay.
left or right. It's good. It's perfect. It's
Well, I
actually
can't hold
pretty
this that long.
clear.
So
You better do
tell
your
us why
best.
tell us why you're better than everybody else.
I'm not better than anybody.
I'm gonna clip that and play that next time you have a live. I'm gonna pull a cash on you.
Oh God, here we go again. No,
Hey
it's
Bruce,
Is my
let me
internet
mention
bad?
to you. No,
no,
it's
no, no.
good
Son
right
of
now.
We
Let
no, no, no.
oh,
We're
let
good.
me
We can still
let
hear
me
you. I'm
mention.
telling you. Just stay right there. Just don't move.
Yeah, Bruce, let me mention to you real quick. You're on Facebook, and I don't have moderators on Facebook. So in order to be a moderator, you have to be on YouTube. And Hex
Okay.
says he agrees. LOL. I don't know. The F8 is better. I think that's what he's agreeing to. That's what I'll say. He's agreeing to. That bait trucking is better. Sorry, I used the bad terminology there. And then
I
Frank
have
says, "Hey
I have
brother."
I
So he dropped out again.
I think did he? No, no, no. He's still there. He's still there.
did I?
No, no,
What'd
no.
you say? I have.
You.
You said I have
I
better.
hear.
It's just funky, like the way
I don't know
the.
what I'm gonna say.
Okay.
I'll leave.
Hey Frank, if you want to come on, I'll send you a link, and you're welcome to join. Come in and have some fun with us. He's got an interesting story too. Eventually, I'm trying to get his story out of him. Eventually, I want to tell his story because he's got a pretty good story.
Hmm.
So and same with
So.
actually bait
Mhm.
trucking there too.
So what Fate was
Cowboy
saying.
says,
Yeah. Go ahead.
sorry.
No, no, no. You're good. You're good.
Cowboy says, what the heck? I'm supposed to be a moderator. LOL. It's on.
It's
It's
an honor,
on.
though. Honor. It's an
You are
honor.
you are a moderator. I'm sure he is. Well, F8 just dropped out, or bait trucking. I always call him F8. He doesn't like that bait trucking. Frank, I'll send you a link. You can come in and join in if you want to. Um, Bruce says this is a reply test. Yes, your test is successful. You replied to yourself or to me. Cowboy says, what? I am a moderator? Yes, you are a moderator. I'm pretty sure you are. I mean, you know what? Why don't you go ahead and say what you were going to say while I'm looking this up to find out
No.
if I'm lying to
Okay.
this poor guy.
No, no. I guess so. So what I was trying to say earlier, and I don't know if we were on the same page or not. I guess, but whatever. Um, no. Basically, what I was saying is like whatever your fixed cost is. But technically, I wasn't necessarily talking about a fixed cost because I don't know if I guess I don't know if Fate um understood what I was trying to say. I guess or whatnot. But I guess in my mind, essentially, what so I guess it could be a fixed cost, right? To a degree, whatever your per mile, whatever it costs you per mile. If it's 55 cents a mile, 75 cents, a dollar 25 to run the truck, and then you're subtracting it out of the rate that you're getting. Essentially, that's really what your profit is because the rest of it is going to go towards your payments and everything else you got to do. If you got a truck payment, that's one thing. Your insurance, your fuel, all of that has to be factored into. I am better than a truck. What? He's saying this.
So he's a split personality. Apparently, he's better than himself.
Oh God! Unless somebody
I don't
cloned
know.
his account.
I don't know. I'm better than bait trucking.
Uh,
Cowboy
okay.
says yes, yes. Cowboy, I just checked. You are a
What am I?
moderator. And
There's
then
not much to
Frank
moderate though.
Frank
So
says no. I know. Frank says
yeah.
okay. Send me a link. All right. Let me. You go ahead and talk for a second. Let me
No,
send
no,
him
no.
a
It's
link
it's,
real
uh, it's
quick.
all good. Um, no, but I guess that's all that I'm saying. That
I'm
I
gonna
was
I'm
trying to
gonna have
say.
to I'm gonna have to
Hmm.
jump out for 2 seconds while I do that. So it's gonna
No,
become black screen. But go ahead and talk. I'm
okay.
listening.
No, yeah, you're good. No, but like I was saying before, basically, it's just like if you're getting whatever per mile, if you're getting $1.75 a mile, and your fixed cost is 55 cents, then whatever the difference is, $1.05, I guess, or something like that. I guess that would be your profit margin, or at least that's the way I would look at it. Because but it's anywhere you look nowadays, I think it's mostly DAT as a whole, most of the time you're gonna have cheaper freight, because from my point of view, anything that comes onto the load board, most of the time that's the scraps. That's the things that do get posted
Yeah,
on the load board, because those brokers, most of the time, they have people that they've been working with for years, and they'll
yeah,
call them up, or send them an email or something, and tell them, hey, Jimmy, this is what I got, and Jimmy picks out his run for the whole week or whatever, and then whatever is absolutely left, then they throw that on DAT, and you're
yeah.
calling and
Oh yeah,
asking about that, but they're putting it for low rates, and
yeah,
I don't know, man. It is what it is. I mean, it's sad. Sometimes it's heck, probably almost depressing. I want to say, but we got to survive. We just got to keep on grinding as much as we can. There's no way
yeah.
around it.
So Seven Seas says, "Are you guys typically out and back like Cash, or do y'all stay out?" Now, for me personally, I'd like to be out and back like Cash, but I'm not. When I was an owner op, I did a lot more of that out and back, but I usually
Mm.
stay out 2 to 3 weeks. Sometimes as long as a month or two, but not usually out and back like Cash is. Now, how about
Yeah,
you?
yeah, and I'm the opposite basically. I'm out and back. I usually go wherever my load is taking me. Um, I'm usually out for a week, so I try to go. So I'm probably no more than like I want to say 1,500 miles out, and then 1,500 miles, 1,500 miles coming back home. Um, and that's just because I mean I got young kids. My wife's at home too with the kids and stuff like that, and I want to be there for them. I want to see them a little bit more, and just have that family time. I think that's one of the biggest things. It's like if you're gonna get paid, you need to get paid well enough to go out there and run. I mean, and it's hard. Some people, and sometimes you got to do it anyway, regardless. Yeah, it hurts leaving the house. You know,
I'll,
um,
I'll, yeah.
but hey,
I'll get back to the comments in a second, guys. Let me do some introductions here real quick. Bottom down here is Frank. He actually runs a group on Facebook. So go ahead and pitch your group quick.
It's called Grumpy Old Truckers. Anybody can join, post, enjoy. If you have any problems on there, just send me information and I'll try to take care of you.
All right, and then
And John is an expert on it. I made him an expert on it, so he's able to do a lot of
grumpy
things
old
too for us.
truckers, right?
I'm an
Yes,
expert
sir.
in nothing, but yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, and
Oh
then
man,
on the other side over here we have Pate Trucking, and it looks like his internet's doing much better, dude. That is nice.
yes, yeah,
Yeah, can
Your
you hear
background
me?
is
yes.
your
Stay there. Again, stay there. Don't move.
yeah, your background's good. Your background's good.
Oh,
Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. All right.
Hmm.
So let me jump through some of these comments real quick, and then we'll jump into this a little bit more. I want to see. I'm curious what Frank has to say about what we were talking about. So Heckrod wants to know what our thoughts about food service are. Um, I know it's a lot of. You mean delivering like in a semi and then having a lift gate. Um, I heard it pays really well, but I also heard it's an extremely hard job.
I
So
did it for 10
that's
years.
Oh, did you? So you have some insight. What's your thoughts on it?
Uh, very, very physical work. The pay is very good. If you're going to like a Cisco or a Reinhardt or something like that, you're at the bottom of the totem pole. So you are going to work every holiday and every weekend, but you will make very good money.
There you go. There you
This
go.
is we're talking about food delivery, like
Yeah,
like
it
local
says
store food delivery.
it just says food service. So I'm
Okay, food
guessing
service.
as it
Right,
relates
right.
to trucking, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Um, and then Seven Seas says food service is a local driver here in North Carolina. Can make 100 grand a year, but you're gonna hustle daily. Yeah, it's very much true. And then Cowboy SJ says, "Oh, where'd you go, Frank?"
A lot
I
of
was
those
getting to you,
guys.
Frank.
Uh,
Um,
a lot of
sorry.
a lot of those guys get burned out though. I think from what I've heard or what I've seen even on YouTube, their like rate of staying on the job is like pretty low. Either that, I mean, or you're just gonna be hating your life the whole time.
Yeah,
You're gonna
yeah.
make good money, but
Cowboy says it's a local um pup reapers. Not always, dude. There's a guy that delivers to a Domino's near where I live, and I've seen him back in at like 3 a.m. and it's a full size 18 wheeler, and he backs it in and drops his lift gate
Yeah,
and takes the stuff in off the lift gate. So
depending on where you are, John, like Domino's is different. Domino's is 53-foot trailers. Um, but like if you're with Cisco, sometimes you'll have like a 36-foot pup trailer. That's not saying that's how it always is, but a lot of times they're maybe like a 48-foot pup trailer. Um, and you might have to do like 2 or 3 turns a day depending on what your stops are like.
yeah.
You might have like 25 stops in one day. It's
So
a
you're gonna be
lot. It's a lot of work.
you're gonna be hustling
And
basically.
that's the thing though. Like, and it's a hustle, but not everybody's gonna want to do it. You're either gonna do it or you're not gonna do it. It just depends. I guess sometimes you got to try it too. You know, see if you're gonna.
There, I'm back.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's pretty much our thoughts on the food service thing. The next one's gonna get you guys all riled up, but honestly, it says brokers are desktop mafia. Well, dude, honestly, you're not, no one's gonna like my opinion on
Wait,
brokers. So,
wait a minute. Do
I'll,
you use a realtor to buy a house? Do you use a mortgage company to buy a house? Who do you think you contact? You contact a broker.
yeah,
Like,
no, I know. I said my opinion on brokers probably won't be a popular one, so I don't usually air it very often. But honestly, they're out trying to make as much money as they can, as we're out trying to make as much money as we can. So, as much as you hate what they do, you know
What happened? I'm back.
they are a
Oh,
cog in the system. Hey, dude, where'd you go? King's Transport, where'd you
I don't
go?
know. He disappeared.
I can still hear you.
I'm
You're just
here.
not on my screen
You see me?
anymore. That's weird. Um,
Yeah, that's what happened to me. It just disappeared.
John, are you shadow banning people?
no, I don't shadow ban, man. All right. And then he's laughing about what he said.
I'm gonna turn this
Um,
sideways here. Oh, that don't work.
yeah, like us
I was trying
foods,
to make my camera
like
work
U.S.
like
foods.
y'all's.
And then Daniel from Facebook says, Denver starting $30 an hour at Cisco. Wow, I would think that'd be actually a little low
Can you guys hear me?
for food delivery.
To
Cisco.
start?
Ah,
Yeah,
there we go.
No, that sounds about right.
I mean maybe with no
Okay.
experience.
Because it's got
Can
well,
you guys hear me now?
That's better.
Cisco's union, John. So it's going to take you 4 years to get to their top pay.
Oh, which is probably 50 some bucks. Yeah, that ain't that. Okay, then that's a different story. I didn't know they were union. All right, Cowboy says, I'll leave this on, but the farm help. In other words, he's going to go feed his family,
Okay.
his animals.
His
So,
animals. Yeah.
we have on here, we have Frank. You haven't you're the only Facebook guy that's on here. So you want have anything to add to the food service thing or the brokers?
Uh,
Because you're a company guy, aren't you?
yeah, I don't know much about brokerage itself, other than I've heard lots of stories. But I do know that I've ran reefer stuff, and I've worked for uh, as a company driver for another company hauling Walmart freight. So I mean, as far as food goes, I mean, it's a perishable item. You've got a time limit to get it there, and if you don't have it, and if it's not the right temperatures, they'll reject it. I've had several times that I've had food that went bad and it wasn't my fault. So it's a very touchy subject with that. I mean, I don't mind hauling reefer, but I just steer clear of it because one, it's a lot of time consuming. You sit at a lot of the places for several hours at times. Yeah, sure we get compensated with detention, but it's not worth it. I mean, we could be down the road making more.
Yeah.
Um,
But
Well,
that's about all I can
yes
do.
and no. Yes and no, because you're gonna have to take your break. So when I'm sitting in a dock getting unloaded, which don't get me wrong, we do sit at some of these facilities for an outrageous length of time. I am not justifying that. But my break's complete usually when I leave. You would be stopping to take your break, and I can keep moving. I mean, here's the thing. It all in the end, it all works out. I wouldn't say I've ever. I have lost loads because I've been held at shippers or receivers too long, which that sucks, and the compensation is never worth the load that you lost. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
reefer is not. You have to like it. If you don't like reefer work, you're gonna don't hook up to a reefer trailer. Like just
Yeah.
don't.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I've done it and I don't mind doing it. It's just to my opinion. I mean, it just sometimes takes too long. Now, when I was hauling the Walmart freight, most of the time, we had time limits to get there, get it delivered. And if it wasn't there on time, then we got penalized and stuff. But I mean,
And
as
you wait
far
4 hours
as
to get unloaded at Walmart too.
4 hours. Sometimes they reschedule you
not
for
if
like the
you're
next
not if you're
day.
an actual Walmart. If you're an actual Walmart delivery driver that's contracted or you're working through Walmart, you have a time limit. I mean, as soon as you get there, they have less than an hour to get you started to get you unloaded. If they take more than that, then you get detention time.
Oh,
So,
okay.
That's new.
that's if you're like working delivering to their stores. I'm not talking like if you're bringing something to the DC or you're bringing
Oh,
something
okay.
from somewhere.
Hmm.
Um,
No.
and I worked for another company that I picked up reefer stuff for, and it paid okay. It's just, I mean, like I say, the setting time, like you were saying up there, the one guy above me, I can't see your name, but the sitting time, yeah, you
Freight
can you
trucking.
can usually get your break. Okay, you can usually get your break done and over with. Or you can do a split sometimes. But you know, it's a pain in the butt at times because if you had to do a split, then you're still going to wind up having to finish your breakout somewhere. So
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
I try to steer clear of those too. I've
That's
been
why
doing
that's why I
driving
said
for
it.
I've been a driver for a little over 23 years now, and I've driven, reefer, I've driven
Wow.
dry van, I've done tanker, I've done school bus. I mean, so I've got experience in just about anything. I mean, I did hazmat a long time ago, but it's just not worth the pay really unless you're doing it every day and getting compensated for it, especially with the new
Hmm.
laws and stuff in effect.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you
I
know,
mean, I ran
that's
I
why
ran
John
Reaper.
said
Go ahead.
that's one reason why John was wanting to get my story from me because I've had fight and jump through hoops through the years with my health as well. Because as you get older, depending on how good a health you got, it gets harder to drive. So,
Now, don't tell your story
well,
here. That's going to ruin it. Then I won't be able to tell it
I
later.
didn't give it all away. That's just a preview.
Oh, let me jump through some of these comments. I got a bunch of them here, guys. I'm sorry. And I'm not. I'm actually not sorry
Well,
because
hey,
this is how.
John, I'm
What?
gonna go.
What?
I'm gonna go back in because it's getting really freaking cold out, and my
What are you in
nipples are
Minnesota?
hard.
Don't you know?
Yeah, dude, it's like 27 degrees up here in northern Minnesota right now. I'm
Oh
freezing.
God.
Well, see,
So
Keep
that's
that up there. I'm from Oklahoma, and it's a nice, beautiful weather down here right now.
Yeah.
So keep that
not
up
here.
there.
Georgia's
hey, good
nice,
luck,
but it's
man.
getting chilly.
Catch me a perch
Yeah,
and eat one for me.
we'll see you guys later.
All right, man. All right, so Frank said he's still here. He's got to reconnect. And obviously, you did that
That's
already.
what I, yeah.
Told you I'm behind a little bit on comments. Cowboys agreeing. Heckrod says I'm a gym rat and used to be a union carpenter. I love physical work. Plus, get my son coming in 5 weeks. So when, or sorry guys, the real small writing there. I should put my glasses on. Would be local 2.5 years ago. Okay, or years now. Okay.
I
Yeah. I
think.
mean, look,
Mm,
every that's the thing about trucking. There are 1,000 different niches and 1,000 different styles of each niche, and you find what works for you. And dude, we need all of them. So, and then he says, yeah, he runs Reaper now too. Sevens, he says, brokers are not always the bad guy. In fact, they're sometimes the hookup. Yeah.
the
Now,
hookup,
see,
yeah.
I'm actually going to stick on that one for a second. So, I said a lot of people won't agree with my take on brokers, and I've been an owner operator. Now I'm a company guy. I don't really deal with brokers, but when I was an owner operator, here's the thing. If you make good relationships with brokers and you have a log of brokers that you trust and you build a relationship with
Mhm.
those brokers, you're going to be a much happier truck driver as an owner operator. But if you're
Yep.
on the load board dealing with a different broker every day and you never get to know any of them, it's going to be a hard haul for you. That's just my opinion from my experience. I mean, you guys can add to that if you want, but yeah, brokers. I don't think they're always the bad guy. I think a lot of times
Well,
if you have one in your pocket that you know you can trust, they can definitely be your hookup. They can definitely give you what you need. So
and that's one of the things too. I'll add to that is I've got another friend that's a driver, and he does a lot of his own brokering loads. Of course, he does like flatbed type stuff, and RGN things like that. And if you get in good with your broker, when you do that, and you find a good broker that'll broker good loads for you, and you're on time all the time and picking up and dropping off, you can't ask for any better. But if you start getting where you're behind or you're losing stuff, just like you're breaking down a lot, things like that, then that broker starts relying on someone else, and then they just kind of put you on the back burner kind of deal. So I
Yeah.
mean, that's why I'm heard a lot of stuff about different type brokerages. That's some are good, some are bad, but I mean that's just with any kind
yeah.
of line of work, I
But it's like building a
guess.
relationship. If you have a relationship with that guy and you break down, he's going to be a lot more understanding of that than if it's the first time you've ever dealt with him and you break down. So that's why I'm saying
Yeah.
if you build a relationship, it's always more beneficial. So, you have anything you want to add, Mr. Owner Operator down there?
No, no, I agree with both of you guys. Yeah, no, building a relationship with these brokers. I mean, but like I said before too, uh, again, if it's a big brokerage, you're actually not speaking to a broker. You're just speaking to a small dispatcher, and they always have to get any rate approvals or whatever through the actual broker, to approve the rate if it's going to go higher or whatever, depending on what you're asking for. But no, I agree with you guys as far as making those relationships last. That's huge. Or trying to be with a direct shipper. Some of the only problem with that though is like if you're a one truck, one reefer kind of guy, you're not gonna get that far. It's you're only one. Now, if you're 15 trucks, if you got 15 trucks available, and you tell the guy, hey, I got 15, I got 20, you're talking different numbers completely at that time. You're talking about making a schedule for those
Right.
reefers to run for weeks, if not months. But just
Right.
a
Hmm.
one person show, man, you got to be lucky to honestly, I mean, not plead and beg because I don't think that's going to get anybody anywhere. But you got to be lucky to get to know that broker, and hopefully that broker's having a good day. I kid you not, because
Right.
here's the thing: sometimes, just like anybody, they'll have a bad day, and that day they'll just not care about anybody really that's calling or something. But if you get that one person on a good day, and you do a really good job for them, you always check in with them or whatever, you show them that you're top notch, professional driver, and you're delivering their stuff on time. Man, sometimes that makes a very huge difference, a huge impression, and you will get that broker to say, "Hey, let me call Alex real quick. Let me call Frank and see if Frank's available again, for this load, that I got coming out." The quality of the service that we provide, I think, it has a huge, huge impact on if we're going to get a call back from these brokers ever again, or if just or if we're just going to have to go on to the next one. That's
All
a
right.
huge part of
Yeah.
it.
So Seven Seas Transport says, in his opinion, hazmat tankers should always be paid more. Now, I will add to that. Actually, I say
Yeah,
if you have a
yeah.
hazmat endorsement, you should be
Yeah.
paid more because keeping a
That's
hazmat endorsement is a lot more work. I have one, so I know
yeah.
it's a lot of work to keep a hazmat endorsement.
What
But yeah,
goes
I
into
agree
that?
with I
Just
agree with that.
out of curiosity, what goes into that? Because I haven't really looked into
Um,
hazmat, but I'm interested just to hear about it.
Basically, you have to take another part of the test and pass
Right.
it, and
Right.
then
Okay.
you have to go through a background check with Homeland Security, and that takes like
Mhm.
a week to 3 weeks, and then they
Oh.
fingerprint you, and then you finally have the endorsement, but it has to be updated every 2 years. Like it's not like it doesn't
Hmm.
last as long as your CDL does. It's every two
Okay.
years. So,
That's
and I heard I
interesting.
don't know how true it
Huh.
is, but I heard
Uh.
that now they're making it so that every 2 years you have to retake that test again. Which
Mhm.
I kind of get because with a hazmat,
Mm.
it's always changing. There's always new information and different things changing. But the basic overview of hazmat and the protocols that you use, those don't change. So I don't know. But
You know
go
what's
ahead.
funny? You know what's funny? Instead of retaking the test, okay. For example, I used to, still my life, obviously, but I used to be a barber back in the day, and per
Did you quit because
every
you lost all your hair?
yeah, pretty much. I got a literally a landing. I got a landing strip right here.
Sorry, guys. I like to have fun. Sorry about that.
It's all.
Good one, John.
I don't care. It's the truth, man. It's basically gone from here, and it's like coming into the sides right here or whatever, and other places. But anyway, uh, what I was going to say is, so we had continuing education, and we
Yeah.
had to take a continuing education course. That course would basically transpose to, let's say, like the FMCSA or whatever. Like they would know, okay, Frank took the course, John took the course, Alex didn't take the course. Okay, so Alex was going to have to take it. But they would know who took the course, and they would know that, okay, they took it, they read through it, whatever you have to do, watch the videos or something like that. And that would basically qualify you for that continuing education to have been done. Why would you take the whole test again? What's the point of taking another test?
Well, here's the thing. If you rely on a company to continue your education, if you've
Yeah.
ever worked for a company, most companies I've ever worked for, and I don't mention their names, but um, the education system is a joke. Literally, they make you watch a video, they give you the answers, and they have you take the test. You're not going to
Right.
Yeah.
fail that test because they gave you the answers, so you're not really learning anything. And then Daniel on the same lines, he basically said every few years, yeah. And then Heckrod said, yeah, he has a hazmat endorsement and he just retested a few months back every 2 years. Yeah, I'm right. Yeah, I thought it was because I'm actually due coming up at the beginning of this next year. So I'm going to have to go retest again. But I don't actually haul much hazmat. In the last 2 years, I think I've hauled 3 hazmat loads. But the reason why I keep it is because it comes with a nice pay increase. So it is
See,
what it is. Oh,
whenever
Hmm.
whenever I first started driving 23 years ago, a little over 23 years ago, you only had to take the test every 4 years. Just when you renewed your license, you renewed that. But
right.
whenever 9/11 happened, that changed everything. So that wasn't too
Yeah, it's
long after I went ahead and I let my hazmat go. I mean, I've got all the other endorsements. The only two things or three things that I cannot drive legally that it has to require an endorsement is a accordion buses and hazmat, and the craziest thing I ever heard of, and that is a motorcycle. You know,
What?
I never figured
What?
that out myself. Yeah, you
he
have to
doesn't
have
he
in
doesn't have a
Oklahoma. You have
motorcycle
to have
endorsement.
a motorcycle endorsement.
Oh,
It
Yeah,
don't
well,
matter if
yeah,
you got a Class A or not.
yeah, but yeah,
yeah.
you have to go and get the endorsement. I had my
Yeah,
endorsement, and then I sold all my bikes back in the day before I married my wife. And essentially, when I renewed my license back in Washington State, actually, I just dropped my endorsement. I was like, I'm never gonna go back to it. Now, 5 6 years later, I'm like, probably shouldn't have done that. So I don't know.
Let
I
me
got to go
yeah.
back. I got to go back and ask. I'm like, can I get that back if I had it, or do I need to go retest on the bike again?
So on Facebook, Mike Daisy, which by the way, hey Mike, I this guy is like my cowboy version of on Facebook though. He is so supportive. He comments on every video, dude. I
Mm.
really appreciate your support. He says, yeah, you're right, or so right, John. Guess he was talking about the hazmat thing. I don't know. And then Seven Seas
Pretty much. Yeah.
says, now it's getting cooler. I'll be
Kool Aid. on
Yeah, I
butane to
can't.
gas terminals and propane to propane distributors. Sorry, so
There you
I
go.
was gonna say next time you need to switch and put the thing on your tablet like I got it on my iPad. Way easier to read. On my phone, I'm doing the same thing. I'm like, I can't see, and I'm wearing glasses for God's sake. So
Yeah, that's what I did.
yeah,
That's what I did. I turned it sideways so I can see them.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, well, my problem is like after a long day, my eyes get worse throughout the day. So we're late in the day now. My eyes are spent at this point. Um, so
Don't say that.
That's okay.
The DOT's listening. They're gonna know you're gonna need
on
glasses soon.
I'm
look,
I'm
There you
I'm
go.
off for the weekend. I don't go back out till Monday morning.
so no,
I'm
I
off
wear
for the
glasses when
weekend,
I
so
drive.
I'm
I
good.
just refuse to wear them any other time.
There you go.
So,
It's all good.
um, Heckrod
I'll be home
says, yeah,
tomorrow.
yeah. Oh well, I'll be home sometime, not soon. Unfortunately, I wish I could go home more often. Hey, if y'all would send me some super chats, maybe I could go home a little more often. No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. um, yeah, it says education is something else. We had a safety class and simulator portion in the snow, and this girl drove right
Right
into a
into the
ditch.
ditch.
Still passed. Maybe I'll have you read my
What?
comments. What the heck? Still passed somehow. I don't get it. Yeah. Well, again, when you're taking a test or a safety class with a company, it's up to the company's best interest to make sure you pass. So they're going to do what they can to try to get that to happen. I'm just saying. So,
Well,
That's
and then
um,
she drove with a simulator. So I mean, that's totally different. That's a computer. I mean,
that I was gonna
yeah.
say simulator. Like, what is this? This
Oh,
is not
I mean,
this is
she
not
might as well be
American.
playing a video game.
I was about to say
no,
this
they,
is not like American Trucker. You know, like the
Yeah,
simulator. You can basically buy all your shifter and all this stuff. And
yeah,
if they're doing that, that's sad. But okay.
yeah.
yeah.
No, I
I agree.
Well, the simulators, I actually want to try one someday because I think they look interesting. But Mike Daisy
Oh, it'd be fun to play
says,
on.
So what you're saying
yeah,
is you don't work enough. You don't drive enough. You want to keep you want to drive in the virtual world too.
isn't that what I do? It's
Jeez,
called
man.
driving with John for a reason. I drive all the time. So Mike Daisy
Oh god.
says, MN2 has to have motorcycle. Yeah, Minnesota has to have a motorcycle. I think almost all states have motorcycle
Yeah.
endorsements
Yeah.
now.
I think
Then Mike,
so.
You can get
and
your
then
learners. You can get your learners actually, and you can drive with that for like whatever 3 or 6 months, depending on your state, and then you
yeah,
basically get
yeah,
used to it, and then you can go test at the actual testing facility. But worst case scenario, you can just go to like a class and you can pass your
yeah,
test over
Well,
there.
see, here's where I screwed up is whenever I was in school the very first time and back in 2000, when I first started, um, I was told that I could have put the motorcycle endorsement on there and they would have just put it on there and kind of grandfathered me onto it without having to
Mm-hmm.
take the actual test. Dummy me, I did not do that. And now I regret it because now if I want to get them, I'd have to go back and take the test and all that. And, I'm just getting older, so it's not no fun taking tests, you know.
Well,
yeah,
I
though,
just
yeah. Do you okay if you
I
want to
just turned.
spend? Yeah, sorry. If I was gonna say if you want to spend the money, I know that there's like little smaller schools out there. I think it's like $300. They got their own bikes. I think you may have to pay maybe for the fuel. So you go like 1-2 days or something like this. You go through their little class thing. You take the test, and they give you the certificate if you pass, assuming you pass, and then you literally just go with that to the DMV. They add it on. Bada bing, bada boom. You're out.
I forget that I know how to drive a motorcycle, and
Me,
I
me
could just take
too.
my
But
son-in-law's. I could just take my son-in-law's motorbike to the DMV and take the damn test and be done with it.
okay, yeah, there you
no.
go. Or do that.
The more wheels, the better, dude. I'm not a motorcycle guy. I had a really bad experience when I was a kid on a motorcycle, and so I'm not into motorcycles. Sorry, guys,
A
but hey,
lot
to each their own, man.
a lot of people don't understand, man. The freedom that you get on a motorcycle, nobody gets it. Nobody honestly gets it until you're
Yeah,
riding. Such a different
sometimes
feeling.
it's too much freedom. At 16, when you're flying over a creek bed on somebody else's motorcycle and you come down on the front wheel like this. It's a lot of freedom.
Well,
I know
that
what you mean, but
explains it, John.
yeah, yeah, I'm not a big fan. So
That's a lot of bald
uh,
eagles.
that's a
Yeah.
whole nother story that we're not going into right now. So let me get to some of these
Uh,
comments here real quick.
Hey,
Oh,
what
did we lose
happened? Oh,
Frank
there we
again?
go.
Oh, there he is. Okay.
No,
it
we all
Um,
came
switches.
back. It just disappeared.
It just switches
yeah,
around. It's done this
yeah.
before.
It gets bored with us and it switches you guys around sometimes.
There you go.
So
Hmm.
Jeffrey says, I think he says Psalms 37:21, which my Bible app is on my phone and I'm not going to open it right now, but
Hmm.
to God go the glory, dude. 100%. The C7's transport says, I'm blessed to be an owner operator and home daily. Oh, dude, that is awesome, man. That is awesome. I'm
Well, if he
guessing
got
by
his
what you
truck
said
paid
earlier
for,
that huh?
I said if he got his truck paid for, being home every day would be all right.
Well, it depends on if he's running a load every day out and back. It is very possible to make money that way. And you know, he said he's home daily. That's awesome. Seven Seas is a good guy. I've seen him in other chats. I kind of agree with a lot of the things that he says, but I'm pretty sure at this point, he knows what he's doing. Mike Daisy says, yes, class the test. Class the test. Okay. Um, did I miss that, guys? I don't know. Daniel says
Got
American
me.
Trucking Simulator, Euro Trucking Simulator. I prefer the real thing, minus the ability to run cars over. Well, yeah. I mean, honestly, sometimes I wish we could run cars over, but whatever. Did
Hmm.
I say that out loud on YouTube? Oops, sorry. Um,
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of stuff on Facebook where other drivers are saying that we should have a 1 day a year that we're allowed to run people over. And I'm thinking, why? It would solve
yeah,
nothing.
I don't want to hit anybody,
It might be
honestly.
fun, but it won't solve anything.
Yeah, I don't want to hit or hurt anybody, to be honest. But
Right?
and I'm not saying there aren't truck drivers out there that deserve just as much as a four wheeler does.
Uh,
I am going to say that too. But
yeah. Yeah.
man, if people only realize, my wife wants me to literally shoot a dash cam footage of an entire day and then edit it down to every single time I'm cut off, every single time something happens. I'm like, that'd be a 4 hour video. Like people don't
Yeah.
realize,
Mm.
and every day, well, maybe not 4 hours. I'm exaggerating. Okay, this is a show. I'm exaggerating,
No,
but
no, you're good. You're good.
no, it probably would be at least a half an hour long. I mean,
Yeah.
I can guarantee I
Yeah.
get cut off or brake checked or someone swerves into my lane. At least happens 5 times each. Well, not brake checking. Brake checking might be once a day. The other ones are 5 times every day, like at least. It's
Yeah.
crazy. It's like people just they drive like maniacs, and there are truck drivers that do it too. Don't get me wrong. If you're
Mhm.
out there thinking that we're saying truck drivers are the best, we're not, because there are some truck drivers that drive like idiots out there. So
I
Well,
mean,
it's like
Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead, Frank. You're good.
it's like my company I'm with now. Our trucks are governed at 68, and I'm running all over Texas now, and
Oh.
these guys are trying to push 80, 90 miles an hour. It seems like running right up on my tail end.
Yep.
We got
And
three
that.
lanes there. Of course, most of the time you can't get in that left lane. I'm over in the middle lane trying to get around somebody else, and they come zooming by me in that left lane. I'm like, naughty,
Uh,
naughty. So one day you're gonna get caught, and it's not a pretty fine here in Texas if you get caught in that far
yeah,
left lane. So
yeah.
it's
It dep-
whatever.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah,
So
I agree. There's a lot of them out there that try to run us over. There are other drivers.
so so Jeffrey says,
Mm.
Jeffrey Lunsford says, what does Jesus Christ and the Baptist or John the Baptist have in common? I actually know the answer to this one. So I'm not a trivia guy normally, but they're cousins. So if you didn't know that, check that one off.
Hmm.
Um,
I didn't know. Yeah.
uh, sorry. Mike Daisy
All good.
says, love it, Daniel.
Mm.
I must have missed that one. Mike Daisy says,
Yeah, me too.
LOL. Huh?
I said, me too. I think that was probably commenting on somebody else's
Yeah,
comment,
probably.
probably.
That's all right. And then
Hmm.
Jeffrey says they're earthly cousins. Like I said, um, yeah. It's basically explaining the same thing that they're cousins. I actually knew that before I read the comment. I have video proof. I knew that. Mike Daisy says motorcycle class, then you can test. Yeah,
Yeah, if you've
that's true.
never
That's true
ridden
in
before,
Florida too. Yeah, that's true in
if you
Florida
if
too.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I rode
Jeffrey,
for years, so
did you?
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just not a motorcycle guy. Sorry, guys.
Mm.
Jeffrey
And luckily, we
says,
don't have to go through that here.
yeah. Jeffrey says, I wish he could be a trucker. You know what? I'll tell you, just like I've told Mike Daisy, and Mike will tell you this is true, and
Careful what you
every
wish
other
for.
trucker that's retired out there. If you want to be a trucker or you're a retired trucker, you want to live vicariously through driving with John, hey, come join the
Subscribe,
fun. So, yeah,
subscribe,
subscribe,
like,
follow, you
subscribe.
know, do all those things.
Yep.
Hey, become a member. I have memberships on YouTube now. Hey, I have a guest waiting. Who's waiting? Oh, not anymore. Whoever it is,
I
they
see
gave up on
Seven
me.
C's
Sorry about
replied
that.
back.
7C says I've got 2099 or sorry 1999 W900. It's better. It
You're
better
living
be
in the
paid
future.
for.
He said at
It better be
John,
paid
you
2099.
for.
trying to wish us away here? You said
Sorry.
almost 2099. What in the
Yeah,
world's up with
No.
that?
he said
Sorry.
2099.
1999. Sorry about that.
He's
1999
been to the future and we just don't know it.
Yeah.
W900.
He
Don't
looks like
tell
the guy from.
anybody.
He almost looks like Doc Holliday from Back to the Future.
Yeah, it's
Guy
kind of
goes
close.
77 miles an hour, I'm telling you.
He's got the
So
look, man. He's got the look.
um but yeah, he said it better believe it's paid for. It's a 1999
No, no,
W900. That's a nice truck, dude.
you said it better be paid
Yeah.
for. Yo, that's a
Yeah.
beautiful trucks, man. W9s
Yeah.
are. It's a beautiful truck. I would love to have a W9, but to be honest with you, my 2017 Cascadia with the fuel mileage I get, yeah, I don't know. Unless the W9 can get like 7.8, 7.5, maybe
Yeah.
like 6.8 if it's a heavy load. Uh, it's tough to beat, man. They're beautiful
Yeah.
trucks, though. I love it. I absolutely they're gorgeous.
Hey guys, I'm going to take a break for 2 seconds. Everybody hit that thumbs up button on Facebook and on YouTube. If you haven't subscribed or followed, make sure you do that. We have Grumpy Truckers right over here. Go check out his page or his group and join up with the group. A lot of my content goes on his page. He's gracious enough to allow me to do that.
Yeah.
Mike
I like
Daisy says,
O'John. He's a good guy.
I pay these guys to say nice things about me. That's what's great about it. I mean, oh, did I say that out loud? Sorry about that.
Hey, where's my money?
So Mike
Where's my
Daisy
money?
says, love you, John."
Yeah.
I paid Mike to say that too. And then Mike says, "You guys have fun. I have to run. Until next time." Hey, Mike, thank you for coming in. I do appreciate it.
Yep. See you, Mike.
And then Heckrod says, "Sorry, my eyes are getting worse and
Okay,
worse. I swear they are."
I'll read it.
Says nothing like
Nothing like a caterhauler coming behind you at 110 miles an hour.
Oh, dude, actually, that's hilarious because you and
Oh
I had a
man,
conversation today about that. Like these
Yeah.
super truckers that just woo, But
dude,
I
it
think
was
that was you I was
ridiculous.
talking to, right?
Yeah, no, you
Yeah,
were.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
was going down 24 southbound or eastbound, and even once on 57, I think it was southbound. This guy, I mean, I'm in the right lane. I think I was doing like 68, right? Which is my cruising speed because it's 70.
yeah,
And I'm not governed by any chance. I mean, believe me, I could hit 95 in this thing if I wanted to, but there's no point to it. But this guy comes flying past me with, I think he was in a drive in or something. Man, but I'm talking about flying. If this dude wasn't doing like every bit of like over 80, it was ridiculous. Like literally, and you know how like there's like a little kind of what do you call it? Like a push of wind against the truck when somebody passes you if they're going by
yeah,
really
Uh-huh.
fast. I kid you not. I'd be using some different words right now, but let me tell you something. That thing almost about got me to get the heck off the road and literally to the side. It was bad. I mean, when you get crap like that, like and it was in a turn. This wasn't straight line 1-2. No, we were turning to the left. You guys might be seeing it to the right.
Yeah.
We were turning to the left, and this guy just whop around me, and it
yep,
was just nuts. That was one incident, and the other guy really quick. Basically, I had a truck in front of me. I was behind the truck, maybe a truck's length away. Another truck was merging on, and a four-wheeler decided to go into the lane where the truck was merging and try to be next to him. The truck just kept merging and merging. This guy cut me off, and I slammed on my brakes. I had to go to the left. The guy that was next to me, he slammed on his brakes. Luckily, he had enough time to get like onto the grass. It was bad. Like yesterday, honestly, I think without the grace of God, I something would have happened, and it would not have been my fault, but it was just ridiculous. Like the way people are driving sometimes these days are just nuts. That's the biggest
Yeah.
hazard I see. But
Speaking of that,
Yeah.
what you kind of telling about that, I was actually coming out of Colorado. And the wife was with me, and this was with another company I was with, and it's been about I guess close to 5 years ago now, and
mm-hmm.
it was bad roads, and I was taking my time. All of a sudden, this um, I call them stock trailers, and he come flying by me in this real pretty Peterbilt. I mean, he was booking, and I'm doing, and I mean, like I said, the roads were not feasible really to drive on, but I was trying to get to where I could get stopped for the night. It was still daylight a little bit, and he flies by me, and I
Mm-hmm.
told my wife, I said, I bet you in a few miles we'll see him up there in the median. Sure enough, we got down the highway a little further, and there he was laid over on his side, and the front
Ooh,
steer tire was still just turning. But I couldn't
dude.
stop or anything. But there were some people on the westbound lanes that had stopped shortly after. So I was like, well, they've got somebody going to check on him. Um,
That's
and I just kept
nuts.
on going. But I mean, that's a mess. I mean, I just don't understand why he would have wanted to risk doing that, because when the roads are bad, it's nothing to play with.
No,
No.
I
no.
came
No.
down. I
Mm-mm.
I came out of um, Montana here just last year, and my wife was with me then too. And I come down. We was heading into Idaho. Came down through that. I can't remember what highway it is exactly, but it comes out of Montana going down into Idaho. And
Hmm.
Uh oh. Do you still hear him? Because I think I lost him there.
Mm-mm. No, I don't hear
Oh
him.
man, Frank, I lost you, man. All right, Seven Seas says he does a whole 60 miles per hour. Yeah, I mean, I get it. I'm that guy too. So between 60 and 65 most of the time. I'm not that guy that goes 90
Do
miles
you
an hour. So
seven C's? Do you really just do 60 miles an hour in the W9 like most of the time? Like your bigger percentage of the time?
that's what he
And
says. He says I do a whole 60 miles an hour.
I don't know. I mean, he might be kidding, but I don't know.
Maybe,
That's interesting. Maybe he is. I think he was talking about
maybe.
Highway 15, right? 15 comes out of Montana and goes into Idaho. I was
I
just
don't know.
looking it
I
up.
I don't know. He'll jump back in here in a minute.
Yeah.
Hopefully I can. Hopefully I remember to look to see when he jumps back in so I can add him. Um,
Mm.
But yeah, so I don't want too many stories to come out here, man. You guys are taking my content here.
I
No, we
wasn't
see some
trying to.
crazy. No, I know it was a joke. We see some crazy stuff on the roads, though. We really do. That's why I started telling stories because um, it's been changing. It changed my perspective on the world a little bit telling these stories because I think it's easy to drive by an accident and think, oh, wow, I hope that guy's okay. It's a lot harder to drive by an accident and then tell a story
I'm
about it
back.
later because you become emotionally like a part of that story. So, like, it's not no longer just an accident, it's a person, it's a family, you know what I mean? So that's why
Right.
one reason why I went to it. He said Seven Seas. We'll get back to your story in a second, Frank. Seven Seas says
Sorry.
um, the W900's paid for does better to me than a
Than a new 9
good.
MPG payment. Than a new 9 miles per gallon payment. And I agree with you. My truck is paid for also. Thank goodness, right? Um, and I wouldn't buy a new truck. You'll never find me buying something brand new. You got to be out of your mind to blow that type of money. You could literally buy a house. You could build a house probably for that much. For one
Oh
hundred
yeah,
and
they're
seventy five
200.
thousand dollars or whatever, two
No,
hundred thousand
they're
dollars.
250 now.
Screw that,
Yeah,
man.
Yeah,
No, that's
a brand new truck right off the line is 250 now. Yep.
and that's a cheap edition. I mean, that you don't get much with it.
Yeah, that's
No,
stock.
I'm
That's
good.
all right. Go ahead
I'm
with your
good.
story. Sorry about that, Frank. What happened?
Hey,
We just
it's
lost you again.
my bad. My internet messed up, so I had to switch to my 4G on my phone.
Oh,
It's
okay.
kind of crazy. Sorry about that, guys. Can you all hear me good? Everything?
Yes.
Yeah,
Quick
everything's good.
quick
Oh, go
thing.
ahead.
Okay.
So
All
I
right.
know you said Grumpy Truckers is your page.
It's Grumpy Old Truckers.
Okay, Grumpy Old Truckers. Awesome. Okay,
Yeah,
I'm,
it's
I'm
Yeah.
gonna
it's
look
on
into that.
it's on Facebook. Yeah, it's a good
Hmm.
group. It's a good
Yeah.
group.
Hmm.
Got
Awesome.
some
I'm
good
gonna
guys in there.
Yeah, I
join
got
that.
So
over 500. I've got over 500 members, and I mean, some people
Cool.
stay, and then with anybody else's group, some decide they want to leave.
Mm.
We're I call ourselves a family orientated type group. Most
Mm-hmm.
of us get along great. There are a few that don't say nothing or just I don't know. I call them trolls, which as long as they're not tearing my page up, I don't care. They can
Right.
maybe they're
come
just
look
grumpy
and
old
do all they
truckers.
want. Yeah, but
Yeah. Yeah.
you know, but I was basically what the story was. I was trying to tell is I was coming out of Montana with me and the wife, and the roads were decent. Well, right at the top of the mountain there, I noticed it had been snowing and stuff, and I thought, well, we'll be fine. Wasn't no snow flying or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I decided I'd go ahead and just chance it, and because the other driver went by me, didn't have no chains on, and he's like, "Yeah, you'll be fine." I said, "All right." Well, I was not loaded; I was empty. He was loaded, so I start down this mountain, and here comes the snow flying,
Ooh.
and so I'm luckily I have a trailer brake hand brake, so I can be able to touch it every now and then to kind of bring the trailer back underneath of me. And as I'm going down this mountain, of course, it's curvy and it's only a 2-lane highway.
Ooh.
And the wife is over there, and her booty cheeks are just clenching to that seat, and mine is too. And I could feel us sliding, and I just was praying no one was coming up that mountain
Oh
because we'd
man.
slide slowly this way, slide slow that way, and I'd bring it back over, trying to keep it to where I was in the center, if anything, of that highway
Right.
as much as possible. And once we got
I
to the
am
bottom of
listening,
it,
by the way, guys. Sorry, I'm doing something at the same time I'm
I,
talking, so I'm
Mm-hmm.
listening.
once I got to the bottom of this mountain, but right before I got to the bottom of it, actually, when it started being easier to go down, and we're talking every bit about it. Oh, I don't know. It had to have been probably about a 7% grade. I guarantee you. I didn't see any signs because they were all covered over snow as I was going down it. So it just I slide this way, and I'd grab that trailer brake, bring that trailer back underneath them. That's just something that comes with experience as you drive. Even if you're loaded, and if
Mm-hmm.
you got one of those in your truck, they're
Yep.
very handy, especially if you're going to be driving with that. A
Yeah.
lot of drivers believe in them. Some are like, "What is that?" They don't know what. I mean, these newer guys have
I
never
got a
had to use one. They've
I
never
got a
driven.
mm-hmm.
And
I got a
out of
trailer brake in
23
my
years of
Cascade.
my out of 23 years of my career of driving, the first time and only time that I've ever chained up was when I first went to work for RTI. I was taking a load out there in Colorado, and it just been raining the whole trip. And I got to Denver, still raining. No forecast about snow. And this is right at the end of April, so most of the time the snow stopped flying. Well, I got up there on Vail Pass, flakes that big started coming down. So I'm having me and some other drivers pull in there to the chain up area. I have two chains on that truck. Wasn't aware that
That's
that's
not
all it was
enough.
on there because the way they were, yeah, the way they
Yeah.
were stuck on there, I thought I had more than that. Well, those two chains were not in the best of shape.
Mm.
I stick those two chains on. I make it to the nearest and closest place to shut down, which was actually a little car rest area.
Mm-hmm.
Shut down there for the night. Woke up the next morning. One chain was completely just barely hanging on. The other chain wasn't reusable at all. So I stick them back on the rack, and it didn't even look like it had snowed when I woke up. You could barely see any traces. I
That's
went on my
funny.
delivery the next day, and it was just amazing that I mean I was literally blessed by God to make it that far safely with just 2 chains. And the night that my wife was with me, because she wasn't with me that night, but the night she was with me when we was going down to Idaho, like I said, I was about maybe a half a mile getting off the mountain totally, and I seen headlights, and I was like, got on my radio, and I said, "Hey," I said, "Is this anybody going this direction?" I couldn't remember what. I think it was northbound. I said, "Am I almost to the end of this mountain?" He said, "Oh yeah, you're just about to the end of it." He said, "You ain't got no problem after that." He said, "Roads clear up and everything." I said, "Well, you be careful going up that way." I said, "Because they're nasty." He says, "Yeah, I know." He said, "I make this trip every day." I said, "Enjoy." So once I got to the bottom of it, that was the end of the mountain, and we were happy because I was like, "This is not happening again."
Was
Because
it
if
what?
I'd known that it was going to be snowing, I would have slapped my chains on that I had plenty of then. I had 3 bags of brand new sets of chains, and I could have put those on going down that mountain. But I just didn't think it was going to be snowing because another driver said, "Hey, the roads are fine." And the one that just came up, and he said it wasn't snowing or nothing when he came up. So it just one of them freak storms. It just blasts through,
That's
out in the
weird.
mountains. But,
Yeah, we're about
you
that
know,
time of year again, so get ready for it.
yeah.
Was it Highway 15 going out of Montana into Idaho?
It might have been. I cannot remember.
I looked. I looked it up. I
Uh,
think it was 15 that goes downwards, southbound.
it's right through. It's right. It goes right through
Butte.
the Yellowstone National Forest area there.
Yeah,
That's the
it's
highway.
it's 15. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, it's
Okay.
it's not no fun whenever the snow's flying. Whenever you're empty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let
Yeah.
me let me jump in some of these comments, guys. I'm sorry,
Go
I
ahead.
haven't read comments in a while, and I got a bunch of them waiting
I'm
for
gonna
me
be,
here.
still be here, John, but I'm gonna take me a short break. I've got to go to the restroom, and I'll be back. Okay. I'm gonna turn my
No
camera off,
problem.
Okay.
No problem.
but I will be back.
I'll probably be on for probably another 10 or 20 minutes, but okay.
I gotta get
Um,
out of here soon too, man. I gotta get
yeah.
going.
So, but see, Seven Seas Transport says, not kidding. I drive local, no need to go faster. So nope, he only goes 60. And then Heckrod says, yeah, it's crazy the things you see out on the road. I mean, even at slow speeds, I'm not sure if he's okay, but I just heard at one of our terminals a trailer tech just got his bottom half ran over. Oof. Ouch.
Hmm?
Yeah. You know what? I'd like to tell that story. I'm hopeless, aren't I? Heck says, opened a few days ago. I guess I heard the story today at a different terminal. Okay, so and then he said prayers for his family. That got to be the worst experience. Um, if he survived, we'll be waiting on more information. Yeah, let us know. Actually, I'll keep him and the family in my prayers for sure. Um, but uh oh.
Sorry, I gotta turn her on. I gotta warm her up.
All right, no problem. So while you're doing that, I'll take over for a couple of seconds here. So we were talking about the freight markets right now in dry van, or as my buddy calls them, door dummies. So,
Door dummies. Who
yeah, he
said
calls
that?
them door dummies. He's
Uh,
So that's
he
what they
hauls,
call us.
yeah, well, he hauls moo around. He's a moo hauler, so he calls us door
Oh,
dummies. So, yeah,
that's all
it's
right.
fun.
Don't take no toothpicks. Can't take no wooden toothpick from
um, but so that's what we were talking about earlier, and then we just kind of went on and talked about whatever's coming up in the chat. So if you're still in here and you want to ask a question or find out what want to throw in a comment, feel free to do that. Make sure you hit the thumbs up on Facebook and on YouTube. Make sure that you do follow and subscribe, ring that bell. I appreciate everybody that supports my content, and every time you do something like that, it helps me to be able to produce more content. So I just do appreciate
Yeah,
it so
John,
much.
don't you forget to tag this on my Grumpy Old Truckers Facebook page so other people can see us.
I will. I will. I will. Yeah, I try to put everything in there, and then I figure if you don't like it, you can just get rid of it yourself. But I usually
If
put
they
almost
don't, if
everything
they
in there.
don't like it, they can keep on scrolling. That's the way I look at it. Because
The
I
only
like
thing I
all your videos.
the only thing I don't share to other groups is my Sunday church videos because that's more of a me thing. But if anybody else wants to share them, they're welcome to. I do make a 60-second church every Sunday. Tomorrow's is already scheduled to go out. So, but yeah, so it's you know, I don't hide that I'm a Christian. I don't disguise it, and I don't mind talking about it. So, but
Well,
I
I'm a
also don't.
Christian too. I'm not a perfect one, but by golly, I'm a Christian, and I do believe in the Lord Jesus.
Yeah,
Yep,
well,
amen.
there's no such thing as a perfect Christian. So,
Yeah,
No,
no,
there was
no, there's
one.
not.
There was one, and he died on the
That's
cross for us.
that is
well, he
true.
wasn't a Christian. He was the Christ. He didn't
Well, I
follow
know, but I
himself.
mean
He
that's what I'm
was
saying. He
himself.
was the perfect one,
Yep, yep,
Yeah,
yep.
but still,
Yeah,
he was the only perfect one.
yeah, yep.
yep. Yeah,
All
we're
right,
definitely
guys.
not
So,
perfect.
one last topic of conversation before we get off here. I want to do a little quick roundtable of anybody that watches this in the future or that's watching it now. And if you have any comments, throw it up there. But we are getting into the winter months. So, if there's something that you would give advice to about wintertime, new drivers, old drivers, everybody, anybody, go ahead and throw it in the comment section and we'll add in our 2 cents. I will say, outside of making sure your truck is ready, always have an extra blanket, extra clothes, extra warm clothes, extra food, extra water, because you know what? Crazy stuff happens, and if you get stranded in a snowbank in the middle of nowhere, it might be a day or two before they find you. You got to keep warm and kept fed
Yeah,
and kept hydrated. So that that's
precisely.
that would be my advice. So, um,
I guess I'm kind of lucky now because the company I'm with now, we pretty much run just certain states, so I'm kind of regional. So I run the furthest north I go would be into Kansas, and so I don't really have to worry too much. I mean, Kansas can get nasty, but it's not too bad. So I
Yeah,
yeah,
guess
well,
that's pretty lucky about this.
but you also, even if you're in the southern states, if there's a bad accident and the highway closes down for, 12 or 18 hours, you got to make sure you have enough fuel and again, all the same things because you
Right.
just got to be prepared for those scenarios. Daniel says don't overdrive your skills. I would say underdrive your skills every single time in the wintertime
Yeah.
because
yeah.
you're better off holding some back because but I
Slow
agree
Yeah.
with you.
down,
Yeah,
slow
I agree
down.
with you.
Well,
Just
like I say, I've
slow it
been
down.
I've been doing this for 23 plus years. I've driven through all kinds of nasty weather, and let me tell you, when the snow starts flying, my speed is way down. I take my time. I turn my flashers on. If everybody wants to drive fast past me, so be it. They're the ones going to
Hmm.
wind up in the ditch, not me. I hate seeing that, but I don't control their driving. I control mine.
Yeah.
Therefore, I watch out for the other idiots, as they're known as. And as soon as I can get to a good stopping point somewhere safe, I pull off and I'm there. I mean, until the roads are clear again. I sit up there in Colorado here last year. Actually, no, it was the first part of this year when we had a lot of snow up in there. I sit there at Lamar at I think it's a Petro for a day and a half before the roads were good and clear on 70 where I could make it on into Denver. So,
Wow.
it's one of them deals, it has to happen. It has to happen,
Yeah.
but I'd
I
rather
don't
be
go to.
safe than to
Yeah.
be sorry.
No, man.
So
Or
just real quick,
We
I'm
gotta.
wondering,
Mhm.
I mean, am I the old grumpy trucker here that's got the most experience, or how many years have you guys got?
I don't have enough.
I'll give you the old and grumpy part. I'm the trucker part. All right, let's move on. So
I got.
Listen to
Yeah.
old John.
um
I got about
all
5 years,
right.
but
All right.
yeah.
So did you want to add anything to the winter conversation before you
And
jump?
no, no. You guys hit on some of the most important points. Really, just slowing everything down. That is one of the biggest things. Yes, you need to have fuel. You need to have water.
Yeah.
You need to have food. That's a given. You should have that on your truck every month of the year, no matter what. To be honest with you, And good tires. Actually, Cowboy SJ, I
Yes.
just saw this on here. Good tires. That's a huge one, man. If you got crappy tires, you got if them things is bald
Right.
as I don't know, if they bald, you need to get some new ones. I'm not getting
Yeah.
hair
Yeah.
implants anytime soon, but y'all need to get some new damn tires. This is what you
Yeah.
need.
Well, definitely,
Actually,
definitely the
you just meant.
fueling thing is a plus. I mean, most companies, unless you're an owner operator, of course, but it's a it's not just a plus to have fuel tanks full because of if you wind up getting stranded, but also it helps keep the moisture out of the tanks
Yeah.
because
Oh yeah.
condensation starts freezing in there, and it's good to be able to put that.
Anti
I
gel.
forgot what it's called now, but it's anti gel. Thank you.
Uh huh. I use
Bad part
fuel
about it is
fuel
your
ox.
bunk heaters don't like them. So if you have bunk heaters, it'll
Really?
stop them up. Yes, it stops the filters up in them. I don't
Hmm.
know why, but every truck I've ever used that in, it'll stop that little filter up inside of them, and you'll have to go and have them cleaned out.
The mesh filter? You're talking about the mesh filter that you need to
Yeah,
replace
it's
or
a little
whatever?
bitty mesh. It's a little bitty filter inside of it. I'm not
Yeah.
exactly sure where, but I had it happen to me a couple times with a couple companies, and they just
Huh.
went in there and changed that little filter out in it, and it
You should
started
try
working
fuel.
great after that.
You should try fuel ox. It works better, and you won't have that issue.
So I did that. That's what I was about to say, John. I gotta get some fuel locks. I need to get their lubricant thing when I do my oil change soon. And I've been using fuel locks. They're a fuel additive. Whatever it is, 2 ounces or whatever per tank. Or I do
Yeah.
two of those little squishy things. My
Yeah.
bunk heater was having issues at the beginning. Like I don't know, beginning of this year or something like that. And I started using it and it cleared the thing right up, man. So
Yep.
I don't know if
Yep.
it's just the fuel
Dude,
ox or, but I think
that
it's
stuff is
good.
awesome. I don't get paid to endorse them or talk
I
about
don't
them, but
either.
I'm telling you right now, I love their product.
Yeah.
So real quick, guys, Cowboy SJ said, feed, fuel tanks, full water, extra triangles, flares, good tires. If cattle like me, grain, water for them. And then Seven Seas Transport says, get your tankers, hazmat, and then haul fuel. LOL.
I
And
thought
then
about it. I honestly
Cowboy
did think
SJ
about it.
says 17. I'm guessing he says 17 years. So
17
Frank,
years.
yeah,
Yeah.
you are the old
Probably.
man here. I'm older than
So
you, but
far,
you're the old
evidently.
man.
Hey man, I got a thing to say. You said old grumpy truckers, but it's funny. Like Frank, I had a buddy back in the day, and I used to call him Frank the Tank. So I was like, so when I started, I'm like Frank. I'm like, man, I'm like
I've been called that. I've been
Frank.
called that.
I was like, man, I wonder what Frank the Tank is doing, you know. But he was a really cool guy. He just kind of we just lost connection back in the day. But that's a pretty cool nickname, anyway.
Well, I've been called a lot worse. We won't go over that right now. But
Oh God, it's all good.
but yeah. So I do appreciate. What I'm going to do, guys. I'm going to go ahead and call it a night at this point, so that one can get driving and the other can enjoy his family time. I
Well,
appreciate everybody coming on here. I really do. Plug your social media, guys, and anything else that you want to say before we go.
I don't have any
well,
social media.
one thing I'll say too is, like he was talking about Frank the Tank. Well, my handle was given to me by my very first trainer, and he called me Tubby Wubby. Well, I didn't
Oh
like that
Lord,
one.
no.
I said we'll go with the Tubby, but we're going to leave that Wubby crap out. That's just
Oh,
not happening. So he went ahead and he said, all right. So my handle is actually Tubby. Just for throwing it out there. So if anybody ever hears somebody hollering, "This is Tubby" on the radio, if you hear me, hey, that's
mm-hmm.
maybe who it is.
Gotcha.
But I
You're
was
not
given
mud.
that by another driver, and that's how it works.
See, I was thinking you were Mud Duck Radio. Jeez, I don't know.
No, not hardly.
It's
Oh
funny.
man.
I made a short about that, but I don't think anybody, like only truckers, get that because no one else really knows who Mud Duck Radio is.
Yeah, it's not everybody.
I thought it
Not.
was pretty funny. That's why I liked it. I was laughing at it whenever you put that
Yeah, I
out.
thought it was hilarious
Uh-huh.
too. Um, so
Got it.
so Cowboy actually talking about humor. He's got a sense of humor like I do apparently. He says he had 17 years with his children's driver's license, CDL. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh man. Time to start
Yeah.
worrying about him.
Nah, he's good. He's a good guy. But
I,
the
I
one
do.
thing that Cowboy left off that he always has on his truck and he has on his ranch right now as he's watching this is a tiger. So inside story. We'll talk about it some other time. But so guys, go check out Grumpy Old Truckers on Facebook. It's a group, awesome group. Go check them out.
Yeah, come like and
This
share and invite.
That's right. This guy over here, he doesn't have a YouTube channel yet, but he's going to start one soon. When he does, support him. Guys, as truckers, we all need to support each other in
Oh
all of
yeah.
our endeavors. So I'm big on supporting other truckers. And as you guys will see in some upcoming videos, I'm very big on supporting other truckers. And that's the only
So am
hint
I.
I'm giving. So, well, you'll
And
see
I
what I
love
mean when my
whenever
video comes out. So,
I love when others that are like John come and join my group and share your content. I'm for it. All I ever ask is, yes, there may be a little bit of cursing, but I don't like naughty pictures and stuff. And there was one that was a follower that was posting stuff like that, and I had to let him go. But other than that, if you post funny memes, that's great. If there's a little bit of curse words, as long as they're within reason, it's okay. But other than that, I mean, it's an easy group. We get along great.
There,
And like I said, I've got several other admins that help me control my page as well as moderators.
yeah,
And of
that's
course, I've got my experts like John, and he's also a moderator. But
there you
I
go.
understand some of them. They say, "Well, we may not have much time to spend on your page to help do that." I said, "That's fine. Just whatever you
okay,
can
so
do helps and stuff."
So Cowboy SJ said, "What's his YouTube?" Well, Cowboy, let me explain to you. This guy over here doesn't have a YouTube. He's going to be starting one soon. This guy down here, or is that right there, is
Yeah.
on Facebook. And I know you're not on Facebook, so I know Cowboy. He's like I said, he's my number one subscriber on YouTube. Him and I, we've been talking for a long time, so he's just giving me a hard time. And all he does is YouTube. He doesn't. He's technologically impaired like I am, so. Um, that just
I'm
tells you a
actually
lot right
thinking
there.
about
So
trying to get YouTube started, but I've got to find time to be able to do it.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that's one of my
yeah,
it's hard,
problems.
man. It's hard. That's the biggest thing, even for me. It's just like
Yeah.
I started. So I have made a step. It's a small step, but it's a step in the right direction. Where I'm learning how to use what's called DaVinci Resolve, which is the video editing software. That's
Yeah.
free. You can download it for free. There's a version, and then there's a studio version. There's a high learning curve, I want to say. I mean, and I know a lot about the video side of things because I used to do some editing back in the day, but still it's a new
Hmm.
program. So I'm gonna take my time with it a little bit. I got a couple of videos already recorded on my phone, and I'll figure it out. It'll be here shortly. I'll make a channel.
Great. Well,
John's
hey,
been
if you come join my group and stuff,
yeah.
hit me up. And I may friend you, and then you can kind of help me out with that stuff. I mean, I'm tech savvy. I used to be a computer technician also,
Hmm,
and I still
nice.
tinker with computers. But
I am not. See, that's the funny part. I'm the one with the YouTube channel that is on multi platforms making videos and editing, and I am not. I'm technologically impaired. Like
That's
I'm not
yeah.
good at technology. And you two are both
Dude,
that's
IT guys.
because
Where are you
he's
at? Right here.
cheating.
I am. No, I am.
He's
I actually.
cheating. He watches videos to learn how to do it.
I
Don't we
do.
all?
100%, man. Everything I do, I
Uh,
watch a video to learn how to do it. But I
don't
will
we all
tell you,
though? I'm
I
telling
will
you.
tell you that I'm hoping I have a contact that might help me start editing soon because um he's offering to help me out. And so if he does, the whole format of my videos may change, but it'll be the same content. So we'll see what happens. But
Yeah, yeah. The
um
long. Yeah.
Cowboy
Mhm.
Cowboy
You're
SJ
talking.
says, "Dang gummit."
Dang it.
That's Cowboy,
Oh
100%.
man.
If there's three words that describe that man, right there it is. All right, guys,
Yeah.
it's been 2 hours. Um, So, guys, check everybody out on social media, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel, go subscribe. If you haven't joined Grumpy Old Truckers, go join them. Guys, let's keep this community rolling. I appreciate everybody watching, and always remember, truckers are people too, and I have proof. There's two guys right there. They're both people. See you on the next video,
Yep.
everybody.
And we work hard.
See you guys.
Take care. Nice meeting y'all.
Yeah.
Yep.
And John, I'll see you later, bud.
All right,
Mhm.
man. Bye.